Hi, it's Ray from Education Careers. Today I'm with Claire Birch from UTeach. Claire, how are you?
Very well, thank you, Ray.
Claire, Irish teachers. Why are Irish teachers so popular abroad?
Irish teachers are really popular abroad. When we're speaking to principals from schools in England, we get fantastic feedback about them. They find them resilient, hard-working, they have the personality to handle their pupils, even though they're different to the ones they're used to. Their qualifications are recognisable in England, and generally they're very good all-rounders. They're more than happy to go over to England and work, and they're ready to take on a move, and let's face it, England is not very far away. But they're also happy to go further afield as well. But there is lots of work in England at the moment.
So you specialise in UK recruitment. For an Irish teacher, their qualification, how relevant is that in the UK?
Their qualification is directly transferable to the UK. They do need to register with the Teaching Council. If they go through UTeach, for example, we assist with that. So there's registration, they just need to register basically, but there's no conversion courses to take place. Their HDIP or the PGDE is perfect for England. In fact, anybody from within the EU can go and work straight away in England without any issues. There is just the registration with the Teaching Council.
And what subjects are the most popular subjects that schools in the UK are recruiting for?
Right, well the subject undoubtedly the most in demand would be maths, and I think that's the case in most places. After that you have science, ICT, English, design and technology. There is quite a lot of demand as well for humanities and for languages. Now in saying that, Ray, we place teachers of all subjects. I mean, probably the most in demand would be ICT, maths and science, but there are places for everybody, there are jobs for all subjects.
And how long of a contract would a teacher thinking of going to the UK, how long would they be employed for?
Well, all posts are potentially permanent full-time posts in England. They don't generally take on teachers on a one-year contract. If a principal hires a teacher for this September, they're hoping they're going to stay on indefinitely at the school. Obviously, a teacher can leave whenever they want. If they start working through an agency, they normally work through us for 2 terms and then go directly with the school. But it's slightly different to the way it works here. There aren't 1 and 2 and 3 year contracts. In England, if you get on well in a school and you settle in, the school will hope you're going to stay. Generally, it takes about a half term to leave the school. You need to give your notice, etc.
Are there any particular areas in the UK or counties that are particularly recruiting?
All counties are recruiting, but there's definitely the most demand around the southeast. We're finding the majority of the jobs are in the London area, Kent, Essex, counties like Cambridgeshire, Oxfordshire, Sussex, Suffolk, and a little bit around the Midlands as well. Some areas of England there isn't very much demand for teachers, unfortunately, like the southwest of England, like Cornwall, and perhaps in the north of England. And also the job situation in Wales and Scotland is almost as poor as it is at the moment in the Republic of Ireland. So really you're just looking at England, and the southeast is the best area. Okay,
and let's say that you're a teacher from either Cork or Clare or wherever, Dublin, and they're looking at the UK. How do they arrange an interview? Do they have to fly to England? What are the logistical issues?
Right, you always need to go to your school in England for the interview. Now, if you go through an agency, like UTeach, like us, we arrange the interview for you. Now, schools pay our fees, so we're able to organise a lot of free services for teachers, like we cover interview expenses, which is your flight or one night's accommodation over to the interview, whether you accept or not, so there's no strings attached. If you're not going to go through an agency, you still need to go to the school for your interview. So across the board, you need to be at the school for your interview. And the interview itself consists of teaching a lesson, having a conventional face-to-face interview with the principal and perhaps the vice principal, and you generally will get a tour of the schools. That's the format. So generally candidates are in the school for a half a day, and they go there directly themselves, or UTeach, for example, would arrange it for them.
And what about for a newly qualified teacher who wouldn't have, let's say, teaching experience or has no permanent post? Are they considered for jobs?
Newly qualified teachers? Absolutely, absolutely. A large portion of our teachers will be newly qualified, and it's not an issue. Most schools in England, probably 95% of schools, have got very good induction programs in their schools for newly qualified teachers, and they really are able to cater for them. So we place qualified, newly qualified, very experienced teachers across the board, so it's not a problem.
And if a teacher was thinking that they didn't want to go to the UK, are there other opportunities?
Definitely. Well, within our agency, we also recruit for Singapore, and this year coming, we're looking at expanding our other markets. So we're looking at countries all over the world really, so watch this space. But I mean, there are teaching jobs across the world for teachers, you know, and it's a fantastic profession and it's a really good way to travel. We know that there is a big demand for teachers in England. There are jobs there to go around, definitely, so we recruit most heavily for there. But you know, if you have got your HDIP or PGDE, you know, the world is your oyster, definitely.
And the benefits of UTeach, so going through UTeach, what exactly do you do for any candidate?
Right, well, to be honest, we do a lot for candidates. I mean, we're the only Irish-based teacher recruitment agency. You know, we're here, I'm based in Cork. We know exactly what the needs and the requirements of Irish teachers and we work to that. Now, we, as I said previously, schools pay our fees. So just to be clear about that, so teachers don't pay our fees. Because schools pay our fees, we're able to offer an awful lot of free services. The first thing I mentioned was covering the interview expenses, but we also find accommodation for teachers, help them to open bank accounts, set up utility bills, provide them with a free training session here in August in Ireland before they go to their new school. So it's a whole, and we offer a lot of obviously advice along the way, and we find them the job at the end of the day. We're a recruitment agency, so we really do do a lot for teachers. We basically treat them with kid gloves.
And if somebody wants to get in contact with you, how do they do so?
Well, they can visit our website, which is www.uteachrecruitment.com. We're also very visible, obviously, on the Education Careers website. And our contact details are on the website. Obviously, I'm Claire Birch, I'm the Irish Recruitment Manager. Most people may have heard of me. And just email me directly with a CV, or you'll be able to get my contact number on the website or on Education Careers, and give me a buzz anytime.
Fantastic. Claire Birch from UTeach Recruitment, thank you.
Thank you too, Ray.